All right, we begin with this. A federal court struck down many of President Trump's widely touted tariffs, delivering a major setback now to his second-term agenda. The U.S. Court of International Trade ruled that federal law does not give Trump unbounded authority to impose levies on virtually every foreign nation. The White House plans to appeal this ruling. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand has more on this for us from the White House. Natalie, good morning to you. What's interesting is this three-judge panel on the court includes a Trump appointee. So which tariffs are now blocked and which ones hold?
Good morning, Errol, and you're absolutely right. This was a mixed panel on the U.S. Court of International Trade that issued this ruling, which impacts those 10% baseline tariffs imposed by President Trump on nearly all trading partners, and then also that separate set of tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China related to fentanyl and immigration. And as you know, we're still in this pause period for those reciprocal tariffs, as they're described by the White House, on trading partners that are paused for 90 days pending negotiations. But all of that is in question now with this major ruling by this panel of judges, essentially saying that the president exceeded his authority when he used the International Emergency Powers Act to impose tariffs based on trade imbalances with other countries. In the ruling, the judges say the court does not read that act to confer, quote, unbounded authority and sets aside the challenged tariffs. Now, the Trump administration says it's going to appeal, which is not a surprise here. A White House spokesman in a statement said that the trade deficit that exists in the United States have created a national emergency that has, quote, decimated American communities, left our workers behind, and weakened our defense industrial base. It is not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency. But as this plays out in court, Errol, what's going to be interesting to watch is how it impacts these talks going on with various countries ahead of this the July deadline, where those higher tariffs were set to take effect.
Yeah, it certainly changes President Trump's negotiating position. I want to ask you now about Elon Musk. He's announced that his time as an SGE, a special government employee with the Trump administration, comes to an end tomorrow. How is he reflecting on his time?
Well, in a very fitting way, he posted a message on X. I want to read it to you. It says, as my scheduled time as a special government employee comes to an end, I would like to thank President Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending, adding that the DOGE mission will only strengthen as it becomes a way of life through government, according to Elon Musk. Now, important to note that we knew this was coming because the designation, the special government employee, the rules say you can only be one for 130 days in a calendar year. So that would be this Friday. We knew that he was going to step back and focus more time on his business, SpaceX and Tesla. But it is interesting timing, Errol, because he's been more candid, particularly when it comes to the bill, the top legislative priority right now for President Trump, that bill that narrowly passed the House just 1 week ago. He told CBS Sunday Morning that he is against that bill since it increases the deficit instead of reducing it. That, of course, has been one of his missions with DOGE.
That's right. Folks can see that full interview on Sunday. Natalie Brand at the White House, thanks very much.